Hello, this is Jordan, and this is your Precious Metals video market update. This video is being recorded on the late Sunday evening of October 4th, 2020. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And in this video, I'm going to do a quick technical update on the gold stocks and where we are in the correction and consolidation that began about 2 months ago. Starting off here, we have the daily candle charts of GDX and GDXJ. GDX is on the bottom, GDXJ is on the top, and there's two things that I want to take note of in these charts, and it's the recent price action and strong support areas. The recent price action is highlighted, so that's in yellow there. That's the past 7 days. And it's a rebound, but it's basically what I like to call weak strength. It's a weak rebound. Just by doing candle analysis, notice that there's only one strong bullish candle, and that was actually that Thursday where we made the low and had a good rebound. And since then, we've just seen kind of choppy action and weak candles. Although the market has traded higher, there's distribution in those candles. There was really only accumulation the day it bottomed. And this setup there in yellow, it's potentially a bearish flag. So there is a risk of another drop over the days ahead or over the next week or two. And so let's look at the strong support levels. We have the 38% retracement is just below the thick blue line. And that's in both cases. So the 38% retracement is just below the thick blue line, which by itself is strong support. And then if we go a little bit below the 38% retracement, then we get into the rising 200-day moving averages. So there's room for a drop, but there's very strong support. I mean, looking at GDX, it comes into play below 36, I would say around 35. And then for GDXJ, we're just looking at, I would say, below 50. Essentially, if we trade below those recent lows, which were about 37 and 52, if we do that and we go below 36 and below 50, that is where I want to be a buyer. That is where we could make a low and have a pretty good rebound. Now, one thing I like to do is a lot of historical analysis, and in this chart, I made an analog of the corrections that gold stocks had in 2002, 2006, and February of 2009. Now, there's no perfect similarity right now to corrections in the past, but there's elements. The 4-month rebound that we had, the really strong move, there's elements of that move in the moves of those three periods that I highlighted. So that's why I made this analog. And now actually looking at the three corrections individually, they're kind of they're all over the place. I could say they're not fairly similar. But when you put this analog together, what is similar is that with respect to those corrections is that you tend to make a low pretty soon after a couple months, and then there tends to be a retest after that. And so we could be following that pattern again, especially if I'm right about what I said earlier and we see the stocks roll over again and we go lower to that strong support, then that would set up a good rebound. And the analog makes the same argument. But basically what I want to take away from this analog is, number one, if we do come down to the below 36, around 35, 36, that's a good buying opportunity. And history shows that it's possible that could, in terms of price, that could be the lowest that we get as far as this correction. So that not only is that a buying opportunity for traders, but also for investors. And I've said that in my newsletter. And so what the analog shows is you make a low about 2 months in, and then you retest the low around 5 months in, 4.5 or 5 months. So that's kind of the path that I'm looking for. Is it looks like we could make another low over the next week or two, but that's going to set up a decent rebound But with that said, the correction is not over in terms of time. There's likely to be a retest. In every correction within a bull market in gold stocks, these types of corrections, there's always been a retest. So keep that in mind. There's going to be a buying opportunity coming over the next week or two. But then there's going to be another one, potentially, I don't know, later in the year. Maybe it's in January, maybe it's in December. I mean, we'll figure that out later. But for here and now, we can see that the analog makes this argument that we could be coming into an important low here over the next couple weeks. So last chart I have is, and this is just the big picture look, the major breakout that we've seen in the gold stocks, it remains in play. The measured upside targets they remain viable. And you can see the upside targets there are in red. And there's still big upside, especially in the juniors. I mean, GDXJ has a potential upside target of 82.83. So if you're able to buy that at 49, or maybe even 48 or even 50, I mean, that's a huge amount of upside. GOEX at the bottom, that is the ETF for explorers. Not as heavily known or traded as much as the others, but we can see that has a measured upside target. It looks like about 52 or 53. That could come down to 30 or 29. So the big picture here as far as the next 12 to 18 months and that outlook, it's very bullish, but we have to get through this correction. If you look there in the middle in GDXJ, I sketched out potentially how it could play out over the next 6 to 9 months or so. That's not a prediction. It's just a sketch of how it could potentially evolve. So that's subject to change, but that's kind of what my rough thought would be here and now as to how the price action could play out over the next 6 to 9 months. Now, before you go, you could close the video if you've already seen this, but if you have not gotten the report on my top stock pick, follow the link above, or I'm going to put a link in the description so you can click that and you can opt in there and you'll get a report on my top stock pick. This stock has 10x potential over the next 3 years. It's correcting, and I've given my subscribers buy targets of where it'd be good to buy over the next few weeks. The CEO owns a lot. It's a very liquid stock. So this is something that we're buying and holding over the next couple years. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, The Daily Gold. I'll put a link to that below because I just did a video last week on what I'm looking for in development companies. And I think if you like this video, I think you'll find that interesting. So thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's informative. Hope it will help you make money down the road. And I look forward to doing another video update for you guys over the weeks ahead.